Anticipating 2025 games while we're still in 2024 feels like I'm looking for my new girlfriend while I'm still in bed with my old one. Hi, my name is Cal over here in Game Reel, and today we're looking at the top 10 best looking games coming out in 2025. Starting us off at number 1 is Crimson Desert. Now I know in these typical top 10 lists you're meant to leave the best to last, but I tend to not follow the rules. So I'm just starting with what I think is the best game in this list in my opinion. Crimson Desert is an upcoming action role-playing game developed and published by Pearl Abyss. And wow, just wow. If the final game and the storyline live up to the hype and the gameplay that we've seen so far, this could be in contention with Game of the Year. Everyone keeps talking about these P. Diddy parties, but let's talk about how Crimson Desert developers look like they've had their own party and invited the likes of Lord of the Rings, The Witcher, Elder Scrolls, Game of Thrones, Assassin's Creed, and made this unreal looking game. The world of Crimson Desert is full of mythical creatures, both big and small, who threaten the livelihood of characters in game. It tells a story of Pywel, a vast continent of divided regions inhabited by people struggling to survive in its ever-changing lands. You can use pistols, swords, cannons, axes. The point is you won't be short of a weapon or two in the world of Crimson Desert. Alchemy is also an option to further imbue these already deadly weapons with additional abilities. Wormholes, flying cities, different dimensions, swords, guns, cannons, arrows, beasts, trolls, dragons, and the ability to launch yourself over castle defenses. Did I miss anything? This one's slated for 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and PC. I am giving this a score of 5 out of 5 on the Game Reel hype meter. Moving over to number 2 is Judas. Judas is an upcoming first-person science fiction video game being developed by Ghost Story Games. It will be the first game from Ken Levine since 2014's BioShock Infinite. The game appears to take inspiration from the System Shock series that originally came out in 1994 and funnily enough has recently come out on console. You play as Judas, a hacker who's a part of a multi-generational trip from Earth to a new planet called Proxima Centauri. You're aboard the colonist ship called the Mayflower, whose sole purpose is to preserve humanity because a plague has destroyed Earth. The spaceship is controlled by 3 people: Tom, who wishes to keep humanity in its natural state; Nefertiti, who's Tom's wife, who desires to turn humans into robots; and their adopted daughter, Hope, a counselor who wants to erase herself because you, Judas, have informed them that they are not human, and in doing so you've created chaos and initiated an existential crisis on board the Mayflower. The game appears to have some sort of power struggle, with 3 differing agendas. Aiding one individual may prompt the other 2 to impede your progress, like blocking certain routes on the ship, or you could assist 2 of them and you piss off the 3rd. And because of these shifting dynamics, each playthrough of the game that you have will be completely unique to the other. This game is scheduled to be released in March 2025 for the PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC. I'm going to give this a 3 on the Game Reel hype meter. In at number 3 is Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Now this was revealed back at the Game Awards in 2022 and is set to follow on from the original story. As expected, Death Stranding 2's main cast features some big names from the worlds of both movies and gaming, such as the return of Norman Reedus as Sam Porter, Troy Baker, and Ellie Fanning, to name a few. Not much is known about the new story other than Sam sets out on a new journey to save humanity from extinction. We have been given a reveal trailer, but in all honesty it raises more questions than answers at this point. For instance, Sam Porter is grey now and Fragile seems to be cured. We'll have to wait to see how it develops into a fuller narrative down the line. The gameplay looks familiar at first, with players partaking in hiking across open areas and encountering enemies on their routes. But the terrain seems much more treacherous this time round and far more challenging than it did in the original. If you haven't played the original, I recommend it. I know a lot of people called it a courier simulator, and yes, you are a courier tasked with delivering supplies, but the story has a lot more depth to it than that. Currently, it's only confirmed for PlayStation 5, and this one will be coming out in 2025. And I'm going to give this a 4 on the Game Reel hype meter.
Oh, what about you? Hey, buddy. Are you just another soulless little husk, huh?
Let go of me!
Moving over to number 4 is GTA 6. Grand Theft Auto is one of my all-time favourite games and arguably the greatest franchise in gaming history. I still remember playing the top-down version on PlayStation 1, hopping into a bulldog, speeding recklessly, and running over pedestrians just because I could. Fast forward to 2024 and it's crazy to see how far GTA has come, and I'm excited by the prospect that another GTA is almost upon us after 12 years of waiting. GTA 6 will see the return of Vice City, the franchise's version of Miami, which is set within the broader map of Leonida, which is basically Florida. GTA 6 will star ex-convict Lucia as the main protagonist alongside her male partner in crime, reportedly named Jason. Lucia is the first female playable character in GTA's 3D era. We don't have much information regarding the plot, although the trailer has a Bonnie and Clyde feel to it. GTA 6 has been confirmed that it's coming out in 2025, but don't be surprised if it comes out later. We know what Rockstar are like. Currently only confirmed for PlayStation 5 and Xbox, with PC presumably at a later date. I am giving this one a 5 out of 5 on the Game Reel Hype meter. Coming in at number 5 is Marvel 1943. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Skydance New Media. The game is based on the Marvel Comics characters Captain America and Black Panther and is set during World War II in occupied Paris. Eamon Henning, who is the video director at Naughty Dog and responsible for the Uncharted trilogy, is at the helm for this new title. Talk about keeping good company, eh? The game takes place in 1943, a pivotal year during World War II. Players can expect to explore the map through the streets, rooftops and forests of occupied Paris. There are 4 main characters that you can expect to control throughout points of the game. Steve Rogers, Captain America, the young US super soldier. Azuri, who is T'Challa's grandfather and the Black Panther of that era. Gabriel Jones, an American soldier and member of the Howling Commandos. And Nanali, a Wakandan spy operating inside Paris. In terms of the plot, they must work together to prevent the rise of the sinister organization Hydra and save Paris from its Nazi occupiers. Despite their shared goal, Captain America and Black Panther initially clash, leading to intense moments depicted in the trailer. Cap really has a knack for falling out with people, doesn't he?
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
This one's going to be out in 2025. Nothing has been confirmed as of yet, but this one should be out on PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC. I'll give this one a 3 on the Game Reel Hype meter. Swimming into our number 6 spot is Sinking City 2. The Sinking City 2 is an upcoming survival horror game developed by Frogwares and inspired by the works of horror fiction author H.P. Lovecraft. This is a direct sequel from the first Sinking City, although this time around it has a greater emphasis on survival horror and combat. Set in the 1920s United States, the game unfolds in the infamous city of Arkham. While strong storytelling remains a focus, the Sinking City 2 reintroduces Frogware's hallmark feature, the ability to be a cunning detective. However, this time it's entirely optional. Players can choose when and where to don their sleuthing caps, unveiling new secrets and lore without it being a requirement for progression. Existing fans of the feature won't be left out though, as various accessibility options will cater to those less keen on combat and survival horror mechanics. The city of Arkham is a traversable, semi-open world filled with decaying mansions, flooded markets and abandoned hospitals. As you progress, the rising floodwaters will reshape the landscape upon your return. Resources are limited, so you'll have to scrounge and carefully manage your finite inventory. Decide what to bring and what to leave behind. You can also engage in optional investigations to uncover secrets, explore alternate options and delve deeper into the game's lore. Coming out in 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC, I'll give this a 3 on the Game Reel Hype meter. Shooting in at number 7 is The Night Wanderer. The Night Wanderer is a fusion of RPG and Souls-like genres. It offers an innovative take on familiar mechanics and a captivating storyline just to top it all off. The level design draws inspiration from Metroidvania games, while the combat system is reminiscent of the Soulsborne tradition. blended dynamic action with tactical depth. As the player, you step into the shoes of Vuku Drakenen, I've probably butchered his name, but he's an elite soldier and mercenary who is tasked to find a lost science expedition on the mysterious planet Midgard. Midgard is inhabited by beings similar to early middle-aged people and is surrounded by a radiation field that corrodes advanced technology. At first glance, I was getting real Thor vibes, and the lightning just cemented that feeling, and then to add to that vibe, the game's setting mirrors Scandinavia, which was the heartland of Norse culture and the region where Norse myths and sagas originated. I'm not too familiar with the book that this game is based on because I just don't want to spoil it for myself, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some ties into Norse mythology based on what I've seen and where the story is set. This one should be out in 2025, although at the end of their reveal trailer it says, "Coming when it's ready," which did make me laugh. This one should be available on PS5, Xbox and PC. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 on the Game Reel Hype meter. Flying in at number 8, we've got Nobody Wants to Die. This is a first-person RPG detective game with a noir-style aesthetic being developed by Critical Hit Games. It's set in a dystopian version of New York in the year 2329, which seems to take inspiration from Blade Runner and Netflix show Altered Carbon. Players step into the shoes of Detective James Kara after a near-death experience prompts him to take an off-the-books case from his chief. With the assistance of Sarah Kai, who's a young police liaison, they dive headfirst into uncovering the dark secrets of the city's elite while tracking down a serial killer. It kind of reminds me of the vibe from the first season of Altered Carbon, you know? Both throw us into these dystopian futures where you've got a killer on the loose, you can store your consciousness on an SD card, and if you're wealthy enough, then transfer that SD card to another body if your original body gets neutralized. I love the first season of Altered Carbon, and the prospect of getting a game that kind of has similarities with it, at least in the concept and storyline, is enough to get me excited. This was actually announced to be coming out this year, but I've got a feeling it's going to be delayed. It's already May and we haven't seen any gameplay for it, so I'm going to put my neck on the line and say that we probably won't see this one for a while. I mean, feel free to attack that assumption. I mean, I really hope I'm wrong. With that said, if we don't see it this year, it will definitely be next year. We'll see this coming out on the PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC. I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5 on the Game Reel Hype meter because I just love noir style games and I love cyberpunk dystopian cities, so yeah. Charging its way at number 9 is Monster Hunter Wilds. The announcement of the next primary installment in the hugely popular series was welcomed by Monster Hunter fans. When the teaser was released, fans flocked back to play Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, which propelled the Monster Hunter World to new sales milestones in the process. Not much is currently known about the plot of the game as of yet. All we got was a short trailer that hints at some new gameplay features, such as a new dynamic weather system rather than the static weather system that is in previous games. There have been some rumours that reportedly said it was a fully open world game, but these have since been shut down. There have also been some speculations about new features, one being the addition of named NPCs, something that the series doesn't do as it relies on unnamed characters. The reason for this is to make the character, which is you, feel like the star of the show. This one is expected to release in 2025 on the PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC. I'm going to give this a 4 on the Game Reel Hype meter. And finally, in at number 10, we have Instinction, the spiritual successor to Capcom's Dino Crisis, that is currently being developed by Hashbane Interactive. Instinction is an anticipated first-person action-adventure game with survivor horror elements. Players will explore a private island where prehistoric lives thrive, completing missions, solving puzzles, and surviving against dinosaurs in a danger-filled environment. The game promises a cinematic story, environmental puzzles, and various mechanics such as vehicle operations, swimming and climbing. It also hints at customization options for weapons and characters. It was initially meant to be released back in 2022, but the developer received a sizable investment from a New Zealand-based company. They pulled out of that release window and doubled down their efforts in a bid to reach the game's full potential and vision. This is due to release on the 4th quarter of 2025 on the PS5, Xbox and PC, and I'll give this one a 3 on the Game Reel Hype meter. That's all for today, ladies and gents. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think. If you like the video, drop a like. If you're not subscribed, now is a great time to do so. I make videos like these every week, so click that subscribe button and enable notifications so you're notified of when we post. Thank you again for watching. See you in the next one right here at Game Reel.